Okay.
Miss Jelke, please share the summary of your novel with the audience.
This book is about a girl named Anna who was born to be a donor for her sister Kate, who has leukemia. She ends up having to make a decision to give up her kidney or to let her sister die. Anna then decides to sue her parents for the rights to her own body because she felt like her parents never gave her a choice about what she wanted to do in life. She felt that her parents didn't give her a choice if she wanted to be a donor or not. Then her parents let her get bone marrow taken out of her for Kate just a few minutes after she was born.
Thank you, Miss Jelke. You may now deliver your position statement.
This book, I think, should be banned because some parts are inappropriate for kids, and it has some bad language that they might not like. There's offensive language that can make kids think it's okay in life, so they might pick it on, and then their parents won't like it, or that can turn out to be bad kids in life. And there's gross and unpleasant parts that kids might find disturbing and not think that it is good. Some people aren't treated fairly, and then that can make kids think it's okay, and they could become bullies in life, and then it won't be fair for the other kids. They would, this book could make them have a bad idea, and it could make them a bad person.
Thank you, Ms. Jelke. Your time is up.
Miss Amelia, you may now deliver your position statement.
I do not think this book should be banned because the reasons people are challenging it are the very reasons they shouldn't. Sexuality, swearing, and drugs are all things that we see and deal with every day already in life, school, and on TV. I am a Chinese American, so I know about banning things. When our exchange student came from China, she didn't know anything about her country because China bans things, especially about their country. Banning books is especially bad because since books were created, they were used to teach. So if you take books away, then you are taking away the main source of knowledge. As the library posters say, banning books limits knowledge. The book also really gives the reader empathy with the characters, and it makes people think about what is right or wrong. Also, there are many people out there who are sick or know someone who is sick, so it's comforting to them to know they aren't alone. The First Amendment implies that the government can't ban or prohibit something that people find offensive or inappropriate. As Benjamin Franklin says, if all printers were determined not to print anything they were sure it would offend nobody, there would be very little printed.
Thank you, Ms. Amelia. Your time is up.
Miss Jelke, you have 1 minute for your rebuttal.
It sets a bad example for kids that books should be banned, but I agree that kids can learn stuff from books, but many books are bad for kids as well as good. It can set things wrong. Bad things do happen in life, but that doesn't mean just because you see it in a book, you should do it in life also. Violence and offensive language and drugs are bad for kids to read because they can think that they see the people doing it, then they will think it is okay and it won't be bad, and they will think about all the wrong things in life. And some kids may read the book about the bad things and turn into bad people. Then, if that happens, bad things will happen to that person, and life will be unfair to the person that they carry on to.
Thank you, Ms. Jelke. Your time is up.
Miss Jelke, you have an optional 30 seconds to conclude your thoughts.
Self-care.
Wait.
It's her.
Laura? Yeah. Okay. Miss Amelia, you now have 1 minute for your rebuttal.
I do agree that this book does have some offensive things in it. But for the offensive language, I don't think the language is a big deal because the book was very sad and emotional. So it really shows how much pain and emotion they are in by swearing, especially Jesse because he was swearing a lot during the novel, but he was neglected by his parents. So it really helps us realize what kind of pain he's in. Also for the swearing, take Thrift Shop for example. Thrift Shop is number 86 on the music charts, and there are many, many swears in that song. So it's not like we don't hear swears every day. The only time violence was ever mentioned in the book was when Anna's mother slaps her across her face when she's in an argument. Even though that was totally unnecessary, that was the only point in the novel where there was violence. And drugs. We know by our world today that drugs are very bad, and we've learned about them since kindergarten. And this book also shows what could happen if you did start abusing drugs. Even though the book did end up with a happy ending, many people already know that some people do not get that happy ending.
Thank you, Ms. Amelia. Your time is up.
Ms. Jelke, you have an optional 30 seconds to conclude your thoughts.
Lots of parents don't think that it's okay for their kids to read bad things, and it should be inappropriate for them. And only for adults, it should be good because they already know about what would happen in life and how things work. Books can make a person have a difficult perspective on life, and it can make them see things in a bad way instead of seeing what's good in life, instead of what's bad. Then it will make them feel bad about what they have done.
Thank you, Ms. Jockey. Your time is up.
Ms. Amelia, you have an optional 30 seconds to conclude your thoughts.
I do agree with Ms. Jelke that parents should be monitoring their kids, but that's the parents' job, and banning the book would be a violation of the First Amendment. Also, this book has many educational values to it because it teaches people to cherish their families when dealing with death, and it also makes people think about what it means to be a good person, or if it is okay to create a baby for a medical purpose. Reading this book, it makes people think about real-life issues and what is important, but does not give the answers.
Thank you, Ms. Amelia. Your time is up.
Thank you, Ms. Jelke and Ms. Familia, for participating.